And I'm Nita, and today we're talking all about the Silky Tsurugi handsaw. Hi, and thanks for watching. Today is all about the Silky Tsurugi handsaw. Now this handsaw is designed for somebody who has the need to get into narrow access spots. So if you need to do some pruning or some cutting and the area that you're going to be cutting is very hard to get into, then this is a video for you.
So what is a tsurugi? What is this tsurugi that you need us talking about? So it is a narrow bladed saw. So Japan has been very, very clever and listening to everything that you have to say with regarding to what your ideal saw is. So this is a narrow blade saw. So you can see from the teeth to the back of the blade, so the spine of the blade is quite narrow. So if you compare it here to a Zubat, you can see that there is quite a difference in narrowness, if that's a word. And you're probably thinking like, oh, that's a narrow blade. I don't want to do that because it will change the strength of it. It's not going to be as strong. Japan is one step ahead of you. So what Japan has done is not only narrow the blade to get in tight spots, but they've also thickened the curve. So the thickness of the blade is thicker compared to your other standard saw. So you're not compromising in the strength of the saw. So if you are still wondering what this saw is used for and to where you would use it, then keep on listening and we will let you know. So who would use this saw, what are you using it for, and why would you buy this saw? So this particular saw is for getting into forks of the tree. So if you're cutting right into those forks of the tree and you're cutting new growth between it, then this particular saw will be able to allow you to get right in between without damaging those other two branches on either side to cut that new growth.
And give a lovely clean cut too, because the style of the tooth on the Tsurugi gives the super clean cut, so it's going to give a lovely cut.
It does. This saw is also incredible for cutting palm fronds.
Yes, limited space for palm fronds.
Yes, also bamboo when they're all got clumps together. This particular saw will easily go be able to cut through the clumps of the bamboo too.
And it's got, when we were talking teeth before, this one has what they call a mirami tooth, which is the smoothest cutting tooth that Silky make. So it's a wedge-shaped tooth, but then every 7th tooth it kicks out at a different angle, which clears the material really easily. So it gives the cleanest, smoothest cut. And when you're fibrous material like palms and bamboo, you want that super clean, easy cut, and that's what the Tsurugi will do for you.
Exactly.
But its main crown of glory is its
narrowness. And the narrowness is between the teeth and the spine of the blade, so the back of the blade. Yeah,
that's right. So this is your tight spot, even roses. And we have a lot of customers buying the Tsurugi for roses because again, you're quite confined with space sometimes with those. So yeah, anything that you are struggling to get a saw into, hedges, those sorts of things.
Yes.
Brilliant. Yeah. So now we've established that the Tsurugi is a very narrow saw designed to be used in confined narrow spots. So if that is what you're after, now you need to pick whether you get a straight or a curve, because they make the Tsurugi both in a straight blade and also in a curved blade. So why would you be picking a straight bladed saw or a curved bladed saw? Well, Silky make these two different styles because of the way the arm moves. So as we mentioned in previous videos, if you've seen them, if you're cutting above your head, your arm naturally moves in a curved motion, and therefore the curved blade is ideal. However, if you're pruning in your torso zone, so sort of this area, your arm naturally moves in a straight motion. So what will often happen is if you are predominantly using a saw in this torso zone, and you've got your branch here and you're cutting straight, you're putting quite a bit of pressure on the back of the blade and the tip of the blade, but you really are putting very little pressure in the middle of the blade. So you'll notice sometimes people might do this thing where they lift their elbow so that they can get even pressure on all those teeth. So if this is your main zone of cutting, you want to go straight blade. If this is your main zone of cutting, then you want to go curved blade. So that's why you would pick maybe a curve over a straight.
So you've decided that you're either going with a straight blade or a curved blade Tsurugi. So your red handle Tsurugis are classified as your large tooth, and your yellowy, orangey coloured handle is classified as your medium tooth.
Yeah.
So your red curved large tooth saw, you are looking at 7.5 teeth per 3 centimetres. Your red large tooth straight Tsurugi, you're looking at 8 teeth per 3 centimetres. Your curved medium tooth Tsurugi is 10 teeth per 3 centimetres, and your straight medium tooth, you're looking at 10 teeth per 3 centimetres. And they have what is called a mirror me tooth style.
That's right. So this sort of brings up something that's come up a lot lately, and that is Silky saw with a large tooth, or Silky saw with a medium tooth, or Silky saw with an extra large tooth. They like to keep us on our toes, as Shenae mentioned, by making things a little bit more complicated than that sometimes. So they tend to group their saws in families. So this is a Tsurugi family. So within that family, you've got a few different tooth sizes, you've got a few different blade shapes, blade lengths, all this sort of stuff. But it's a family within Silky saws. And then you've got Zubat family, and you've got Gontaro family, and Gomboy family, all these different families. So within each family, they break them down into medium tooth, large tooth, all these sorts of things. So a medium tooth Zubat is not necessarily the same size tooth as a medium tooth Tsurugi or a medium tooth Gontaro. So just be careful with that, because we had a lot of customers this week saying, oh yeah, I want the medium tooth, and which one should I pick? And they're looking at all the different ranges. Well, a medium tooth is different. So we're really better to break it down to how many teeth per 3 centimetres. So when you're comparing Silkies, try and remember that. Forget the words medium, large, extra large. Just think how many teeth per 3 centimetres, so you're getting an accurate comparison.
Yes.
But back to what Shenae was saying about the mirror me, that's what I mentioned before. That's super smooth, beautiful, easy cut. So that's what all of the Tsurugis, whether you pick the straight, the curved, the medium, the large, all have that beautiful mirror-me smooth cutting tooth.
Yes.
And also worth mentioning is whether you can sharpen them.
Yes. So this particular Tsurugi family, they can't be sharpened, these particular saws. So they have what is called an impulse hardened tooth, which means the very, very tip of the tooth has been hardened. So it will last a little bit longer. So
3 times longer, they say, than if they didn't do that process.
Yeah.
So it gives you a much longer life with the saw. And they say to ever be able to sharpen a tooth that size is incredibly challenging, so they give you a head start just by hardening it and giving you a longer life, and then you just replace the blade when you need to. Speaking of replacing blades with Tsurugis, they're very unique. Shenae sort of touched on it earlier, but they don't have any screws. So when you compare them to like a Sugoi has the 2 screws here, whereas the Tsurugi is full tang, but there are no screws. So to replace the blade, you pull with a little bit of might the handle here, and it splits in half. And so that is what the full tang Tsurugi handle looks like. So you just replace the blade like that. So really quick and easy to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you've just learned the amazing Tsurugi teeth. So which one are you going to pick? So if you're looking at the large tooth Tsurugi, you're cutting big fresh branches. Medium tooth, you're cutting small branches. The exception to the rule is fibrous materials. However, because the Tsurugi has the amazing mirror me tooth style, you'll be able to cut very, very smoothly. So if you're cutting large, fresh palm fronds, large tooth Tsurugi. If you're cutting smaller, fresh palm fronds, medium tooth.
And then also hardwood.
Hardwood, yes, hardwood too. So we're not talking about a branch that died
yesterday.
Yes, or last week.
Freshly dead branch, not what we're talking about.
We're talking about like dry carpentry wood, like this table basically.
Yeah, so if it's very, very dead, has no moisture in it, then go for your medium tooth, your smaller tooth, something like 10 teeth per 3 centimetres.
Yeah.
But if it is only, recently died, well, then there's still moisture in it, so you're better off to go with a bigger tooth. The bigger will win in the race of speed.
Yes.
Okay, so now you know whether you're going for a curved saw or a straight saw, I hope. Which tooth size you're going to go for, the 10 teeth per 3 centimetres or 7.5 or 8. Now we need to know which blade length, because they all come in 3 options. So your curves, you have a choice of, drum roll,
please. You have a 21 centimeter blade, a 27 centimeter blade, and a 33 centimeter blade.
That's right. And just to keep it all exciting and different, straight blades are.
Straight blades are available in a 20 centimeter blade, a 30 centimeter blade, and a 40 centimeter blade.
Which is really long. This is it here.
Yes.
Very long. Because it's so narrow as well, it looks even longer. But yeah, that's the 40 centimeter.
But it's incredible for cutting at a greater speed. Because the longer the blade, the faster the cut.
That's right. More teeth you've got going through whatever you're cutting, the faster it's going to happen. And also there's a chance you've got breaking blades, because every time you push that forward, there is a chance that the cut will close up, grab that blade, and you'll put too much force and snap it. So that's where a longer blade comes in really handy. But why would you maybe pick a shorter length when there is a longer one? If longer is faster and less chance of breaking blades, then why don't we always go for the longest that they make? Reason for that is space. So we talked about this saw is designed with space in mind. So the narrowness, your access space. So that's sort of left to right. But you've also got front and back to deal with. So if you were buying this to use with roses or a bush that we were talking about, you might be only wanting to prune this branch and this branch. So if you've got a massive 40 centimeter long blade, you're going to cut probably 10 branches at once, which you might not want to do. And in that case, you're only going to use the tip of the blade. And that's not going to be comfortable, and it's going to give you a chance of breaking it by only focusing attention on that tip. So in that case, you need to go for a shorter blade. So you need to think, what am I predominantly going to be cutting? How much room have I got? Because you want to use the full length of your blade. So if you've got lots of space, you're just cutting new growth out of gum trees or something, then go for the long one because you've got heaps of space, or maybe palms again, you can reach it all the way in, go for the long blade. But if it's a bush or a smaller sort of fruit tree or something, you might need to go for a 210 or 200 or one of those in between lengths. Okay, so you may have noticed in those demos, every time we started a cut, we started the cut right up next to the handle. We didn't put the tip of the blade on the branch and glide it forward or even the center. We always start right up next to the handle. Now that is so important with your technique of pull, because it's a pull saw only. So you always want that cut, the branch to be there when you start your cut, not there or there and glide it forward. You always want to start your cut here. So always remember that, because that's going to be a big thing with getting your technique right and not breaking blades. The other thing is when you're cutting, if you find that your handle is pushing in and bumping into the branch like that when you're cutting, you know you're putting way too much forward pressure. That handle should never hit what you're cutting. If anything, you should be accidentally pulling out of the cut, but there is really where you should be stopping. You should never have that handle hitting the branch. So if you notice that your handle is bumping up against the branch when you're cutting, reverse your pressure. So all your pressure should be this way, and it's just a glide forward. You nearly, in a way, release pressure with your hand on your forward direction, and then it's you grip again on your way back. So they're good little tips. If your handle touches what you're cutting, you know you're using the technique wrong. And always start the cut right up next to the handle, and then you should have no problems with getting your pull technique down pat.
Silky Japan's amazing creations. So where to buy this incredible saw? So you can either jump online and order it online, or you can visit one of our amazing dealers that are Australia-wide. And if you have any questions or inquiries regarding the product, you can contact us, or you can contact one of our dealers too. But yeah, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to let us know. One of us, always happy to help.
That's right. And thanks for watching our video today.
Stay safe and well.
Bye.
Bye.